Listen, this was going to be a long one, so buckle up. I've been wanting to do video responses to certain comments that deserve more long-form engagement for a while now, and this feels like the right moment. So yeah, this is a follow-up. My original post was about trolls and haters and why I don't get rid of them. People are always asking me, Kevin, why don't you just delete the trolls? Now, from where I'm standing, there's really no logical reason why that should have triggered a negative response. But clearly, here we are. So let's define some things. What is negativity? In the way I use it, it's not emotional. It's structural. It's the antagonist to the protagonist. In any first-person narrative, the narrator is the protagonist. So that means any opposition is the antagonist or negativity. Think positive and negative. Think north and south. That's polarity. It's math, not emotion for me. Now, a lot of the backlash I see online doesn't actually come from disagreement. It comes from limitations on how people use and understand language. And no, that is not me calling people illiterate. That's a different conversation. A valid and relevant conversation, but different all the same. What I'm talking about is people assigning their personal definitions and tones to a word or phrase, and then assuming that that tone or definition is universal, and then arguing from there. Now, to be fair, I am not above that. I haven't experienced everything. I have not communicated with everyone, but I've experienced enough to know this. If something doesn't make sense to me, I ask questions. I don't jump straight to conclusions. That alone would eliminate a lot of unnecessary noise. Now, one commenter basically said that content creators default to calling people haters and trolls anytime there's disagreement. That might be true for some people, but that's neither true for me nor a lot of content creators that I engage with. I actually value constructive discourse. I mean, that's how growth works. Even plants require resistance from the ground in order to grow. Without that opposing force, there's no structure, no growth. And when growth stops, you become mulch. Now, of course, mulch still has value because it supports new growth. So everything has a place. That's why I don't automatically write off comments I don't like. I assess them. Is it true? For example, was she a hater? No, she was right. The video was overprocessed, and she found something positive to say about my music. And because of that, I adjusted. Now I'm a little bit more careful when I'm dragging sliders in Final Cut Pro, pretending like I know what I'm doing. That's useful. Another example, a post that doesn't exist anymore because I took it down. I thought it was funny. A lot of people thought it was funny until someone responded from a perspective that I hadn't fully considered. The post was about being asked if I was Chinese. I responded publicly in a way that made sense to me at the time, but the person who checked me was biracial and identified fully with both sides of their identity. And that forced me to realize something. My answer could have easily just been yes or no, depending on lived experience. Was I aware of biracial identity before the post? Yes. Was I thinking about it in the moment? Clearly not. So I took the post down. Not because I was attacked, because I was corrected. That's not a hater. That's an illuminator. Now, let's get real about language. Adding ER or OR to the end of a verb assigns identity through repeated action.
If when you wake up in the morning, you can think of nothing but writing, then you're a writer. If you wake up in the morning and you can't think of anything but singing first, then you're supposed to be a singer, girl.
So if someone consistently hates, what are they? Exactly. Now, here's the distinction. If something exists in the content that you don't like, disagree with, or want to challenge, that's engagement. But if there's nothing there, and you manufacture something to hate, because that's what you feel compelled to do, that's not engagement. That's habit. And habits define behavior. And behaviors define labels. You don't get to do the thing repeatedly and then reject the name for it. Well, you can, but it doesn't make sense. Now, there's a particular viewer who follows me, which means he chose to be here. I would name him to shame him, but he clearly has no integrity, nor profile photo. Even his name sounds fake to me. So even he doesn't want to be associated with his online behavior. He waited the whole 7-day period until he could comment, and now consistently leaves negative responses. Not occasionally, consistently, no matter what the topic is. And not just with me, but with multiple Black creators that I've seen. Specifically when we're existing in or celebrating spaces that historically have been treated as if they were not for us. So let's stop playing dumb about that pattern. At that point, we're not just looking at negativity, we're looking at bias. And when that bias keeps showing up along the same racial lines, yeah, I'm comfortable calling that racist. Not emotionally, pattern recognition. Now, am I perfect in all of this? No. I've posted things that needed to come down. I've missed perspectives. I've had to correct myself in real time. So this isn't me standing above anything. This is me standing in it with awareness. But let's not blur lines just to stay comfortable. A hater is a hater. A troll is a troll. An illuminator is an illuminator. A congratulator is a congratulator. And when the behavior lines up a certain way long enough, call it what it is. Because clarity is more useful than politeness. Now, I didn't say no names, but I wonder what you guys are seeing. Have a look at the comment section and let me know who you think the haters are. They're very obvious.
What we try to forget, shadows still dance with the